Kyle, I like the attention device that you use, the quote, and the transition to the topic. You've got a very clear thesis statement. The setup of the content, I think, is okay, but I think you could use some numerical signposting and distinguish those points. That sentence runs together just a little bit. On the supporting material, you're relying almost exclusively on your own experience, and although the experience should make the speech interesting, and it does because of the stuff that you've got there, but I think you want to be able to generalize this a little bit more, and so it wouldn't be a bad idea to use some examples from some of those behind-the-scenes videos that you've been talking about, or that you mentioned that you like, or some of the textbooks that are used, or the writing on this particular subject. You went through the whole screenwriting process, for instance, and clearly there's some issue going on between you and the Screenwriters Guild, but I don't know what it is. We don't have any clue as to whether that's a typical problem, and it seems kind of sketchy there. The same sort of thing when you're talking about being on set and doing the filming. You mentioned something about actors, and you kind of roll your eyes about what the actors are doing or trying to deal with the actors. But you know, I know how you feel about it, but I don't know why you feel that way, and I think you need to describe those sorts of things. On the time setups, for instance, you used your experience, but you could easily have talked about a number of movies that people would be familiar with. How long a script was in development, for instance, how many days was there actual shooting, and what was the post-production time on, let's say, a film that's out right now, or you know, some other film that people know a lot about. You have a lot of screen time, for instance, in a movie that runs 3 hours in length, but they only shot for 60 days, but the post-production was 6 months, you know, that kind of thing. I think a few instances like that would add a little bit to your speech. I didn't mind so much your poor student's version of the storyboarding, except that it was hard to see from where I was, and the notations are a little bit small. That might have been something that you could have transferred, for instance, to a transparency that would make it easy for everybody to see. The trailer goes on a little while, but you've got a nice piece of work there that you want to share with people, and it's going to draw interest in, and as Melissa said, it kind of adds to your credibility because clearly you're involved in doing something there. That helps. I think it might be a little too laid back in the presentation. Maybe a little more energy would help you on those things. All right, thank you.